Hi, welcome to our maths lesson. Today's learning objective is to know how to find missing numbers for equivalent fractions and also to know how to write integers as fractions. Pause this video for about 6 minutes and attempt the questions in the starter activity. The time is up. The answers are on the board. Mark your work, preferably with a green pen if you have one at home. And write down how many out of 6 you've got correct. Today, we are going to learn how to find missing numbers for equivalent fractions and how to write integers as fractions. This is a 4th lesson on this topic. There are 3 more. Okay, so let's begin. Example 1. Find the missing value. So, I know that, well, I've got a numerator in both fractions. So what is missing is the denominator in the second fraction. So now I look at them and compare them. I compare 2 and 14. Right, so 2 has been multiplied by 7 to get 14. To find equivalent fraction, whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So since 2 has been multiplied by 7, I need to multiply the 10 by 7 as well to find the denominator of the equivalent fraction. 10 times 7 is 70. So the missing value is 70. Now, pause this video and attempt we do. So, what you should have done is to compare 10 and 70. You should know that 10 times 7 is 70. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top because it works both ways. So 2 times 7 is 14. So we got exactly the same fraction as in I do for 70ths. So well, if you've got something, if you had something different, then this is definitely wrong. If you've got 14, well done. Example 2. Find the missing value. So the missing value in this equivalent fractions is the denominator. So what I will do is I see that I've got 14. How did I get from 14 to 2? 14 divided by 7 is 2 because 2 times 7 is 14. So whatever I do to the top, I need to do to the bottom. So 70 divided by 7 is 10. So the answer I was looking, the denominator I was looking for is 10. Now pause this video and attempt we do. Okay, so again, you were looking for the denominator in this fraction. So what we are comparing those two numerators. What happened to 2 to get into 70? It's been multiplied by 35. So whatever I do to the top, I need to do to the bottom. 10 times 35 equals to 350. Okay, let's move on. Example 3. 7/10 is equal to 70 over something. So I'm looking for the denominator in this fraction. I compare the numerators 7 and 70. So what did I do to 7 to get into 70? I multiplied it by 10. Whatever I do to the top of the fraction, I have to do to the bottom to get equivalent fraction. So 10 times 10 equals 100. So equivalent fraction is 70 over 100. Now pause this video and attempt to read the question. Okay, so what you should have written is 7 times 10 is 70 and 11 times 10 is 110. If that's what you've got, well done. Next one. Okay, so 7 over 11 is equal to 7 over something. Well, it's been multiplied by 1, so I need to do the same to the bottom. So it's 7 over 11. Now pause this video and do we do. Right, so I hope that you have noticed that the 1 is in here. We don't need to do anything to it. We just change the fraction. So I compare the numerator, or you should have compared the numerators to get this denominator. So 2 times 7 is 14. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom, or whatever you do to the numerator, you need to do to the denominator. So 10 times 7 is 70. If that's what you've got, well done. And now let's do some practice exercises. Pause this video for about 8 minutes and attempt all the questions. Finding the missing numbers. Do it now. And here are the answers. Mark them preferably with a green pen. Pause the video for about 2 minutes and mark them. And here is one more question. This one's a little bit different because it involves the whole integers. So pause this video and do this just like we did the example before. And now mark your work. Pause the video and mark your work. Now we will move on to the second learning objective for today, which is to know how to write integers as fractions. Example 1. Find the missing value. So I want to turn the integer means the whole number, the integer 3 into a fraction over 7. So one way of doing it is to think about the 3 as the 3 wholes. So 3 whole circles, for example. Sorry, those are not very even circles, but I'm sure you've got very big imagination and you can imagine that they are even. And then I split each of them into 7 equal parts. Okay, 1, 2. Imagine that these parts are equal. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3. Now the question is, how many sevenths do I have? So I will count each of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 3 is equal to 21 over 7. The other way of doing it, quicker way without drawing, is to write down 3 as 3 over 1. We should know that the integer 3 is the same as 3 over 1. So we can write this as 3 over 1 is equal to something over 7. We are looking for the numerator. Compare the denominators this time. How do I get from 1 to 7? By multiplication or division. I need to multiply it by 7. 1 times 7 is 7. Whatever I do to the denominator, I need to do to the numerator. So I need to multiply 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. As you can see, we've got the same answer. Now pause this video and attempt we do. Okay, thank you for working so hard on this example. So what you should have done is multiply 3 times 11, which is 33. So your missing number is 33. If that's what you've done, if that's what you've got, well done. Okay, so here are some practice exercises. So work out how many sevenths is in 3 wholes, or how turn integer 3 to the fraction over 7. Pause this video for about 8 minutes and attempt all the questions. And here are the answers. Pause this video and mark your own work and write down how many did you get right out of how many you've done. So for example, if you've completed 8 questions and all of them are right, write 8 out of 8. If you have finished all of them and all of them are right, excellent, well done. And the last thing for today, so quick extension activity and self-assessment. So fill in the missing blanks for each of the fractions. So you have to turn 4 into fractions over 1, over 2, over 3, and so on. The same with 7. And then a self-assessment. Write down a sentence about what is an integer, what is the best way to find the missing value for the fraction, and how do you know that 2 fractions are equivalent? So you might want to pause it and attempt self-assessment questions and possibly extension. And here are the answers for the extension activity. And for self-assessment, integer is a whole number. The best way to find the missing value for the fraction is to compare. If the missing is the numerator, that means we've got both denominators, to compare it and work out what we need to multiply or divide by to get the missing value. And how do you know that the fractions are equivalent? By finding the number that we multiplied top and bottom of one fractions to get the other. If that values are different, then they are not equivalent. This is all for today, and we'll see you on next lesson. Bye.